Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know it has been a minute, like a really long minute since I last posted. And in today's video, I'm just gonna kind of sit down with you and explain what's been going on. No makeup reviews or tutorials today, just a little chit chat, kind of going over where I'm at in life right now and why I needed to take such a big break from social media. I really want to be open and honest with y'all, and I think that by making this video, I'm gonna feel better by doing it. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably have seen by now or heard that William and I completely packed up our entire lives in Oregon, bought a house, and moved all the way to Houston. You know, Oregon was my home for a really good and long portion of my life. I was very comfortable there, and it was just like I kind of, what I was explaining, it was my comfort zone. But William and I didn't feel like we were thriving as much as we could be, so we decided to do something crazy, try something new, and move to Houston, which we did. And it's honestly been one of the hardest things that I've ever done because my entire family lives in Oregon, and family like truly means everything to me. Sorry, I'm already getting emotional talking about it because like I miss them so much, like every day, and being away from them has been really hard for me. Oh god. Okay, one second. All right, sorry, the video hasn't even really started yet and I'm already crying. But I have really grown and seen a new appreciation for my husband because my husband's actually from Europe and he's been away from his family for a really long time because he decided to uproot his life there to come be with me here. So, experiencing this for myself and being away from my family, I've like grown a huge appreciation for him because I've been able to experience it myself now. I don't know if that makes sense, but overall, moving really has like been the best decision we could have made though for ourselves because we are really thriving here now. We love our home. We have a great community. We've made some amazing friends and we're overall just like in a happier place. One thing that you guys were not aware of though was for a while I was really not in a good place. I have mentioned this before, but I have an autoimmune disease called ulcerative colitis. I'm not gonna go like into a bunch of detail about it. I'm not embarrassed by my disease, but it's also not a casual conversation topic, I guess you could say. If you are curious about it, just Google it, look it up online, and then you'll understand what I mean. But anyways, for a while I was pretty sick because of my disease, and it really made it hard to just like film for you guys. So I have taken a lot of breaks over the years of actually posting content, and I have not got stuff up as much as I had wanted to. But when I'm sick or I'm just not doing well health-wise, it makes it really hard to have that strive and just pump out that content that I feel like you guys deserve. I've had this disease since I was 18, and I've had periods where I was okay and periods where I was not okay. And in the past couple of years, I just was like not in a good place. I was struggling to get healthy, and this disease is so, I don't even know what the word is. It's just, it has a mind of its own. So there's only so much you can do to try to help it. And unfortunately, the medications that had helped for me and worked for me in the past just weren't working anymore. So I was on a journey of trying to figure out what I needed to do in order to get healthier. I had to take all sorts of medications, including prednisone. And if you know what prednisone is, its nickname is the devil's Tic Tac because it is the worst ever. It has so many horrible side effects, including weight gain, which is really hard on your self-esteem and your body. And also another reason why I was not comfortable posting, because it makes your face really big and really round. And I mean, I already have a big round face as it is, so when it's even bigger than this, it's hard to put yourself out there on the internet because you're putting yourself in a vulnerable place and you don't know how people are going to respond. I absolutely love making content for you. Posting on YouTube and Instagram and makeup tutorials, and you guys have just been so amazing and supportive of me. But if I'm being honest, it can get really, really stressful sometimes. There's nice people on the internet and there's not nice people on the internet, and there's the pressure to like try to get content all the time. or grow your channel and your following, and it's a lot, especially when it's your job too. And like the funny thing is stress is like one of my number one triggers for my disease. So when something like this is really stressful for me, I kind of just have to sit back, focus on my health, get in a good place so that I can keep doing this. I can happily say now though that since I've moved, I have been on a new medication and I am the healthiest and happiest that I have been in a really long time. So I do feel confident and ready to start making content again. That's not really what today's video is about either though. If you want, I can do a story time kind of going over how I found out that I had my disease and what it's been like living with it. And I mean, it's kind of personal, but I'm willing to share that with you guys because it's actually a pretty crazy story. But it's definitely gonna have to be a video for another time. I don't like keeping secrets, and I'm kind of just done struggling in silence anymore. I want to be open and honest with you all and explain something else that I've been going through recently. Basically, this video is about infertility and starting a family. One thing that I have not shared with you guys is my struggle with infertility and trying to become a mom. I have watched numerous, and I mean countless, videos on YouTube where women and couples have shared their stories and their journeys with infertility. And they don't realize it, but they have helped me in so many ways because I don't think I would be as comfortable as I am right now in my own journey if it wasn't for them sharing theirs. Infertility can be like a really taboo subject, and by sharing your stories online and documenting it or vlogging it, it has made me feel like I'm not so alone. And infertility can make you feel really, really lonely sometimes. These people truly have no idea how much they've helped me, which is why I want to do it too. I want to put my story out there and my journey, because if I can help one person, just even one, it'll make all of this worth it. I've struggled with infertility for almost 2 years now, and I would not wish it on my worst enemy. I know that my timeline is not as long as some other couples, but no one, and I mean no one, should ever have to experience this. And you know, the crazy thing is, like, when you're growing up, from when you're a teenager to even when you're older, like, it's instilled in your mind that if you are actively, well, you know, without protection, you will get pregnant. And in my case, that is just not true at all. And actually in a lot of women's cases. I've been dealt a lot of crappy hands in my life, and this is honestly like one of the hardest things that I've ever been through. When we first started trying, I was so naive. Oh my gosh, I wish I could go back. I wish I could go back to that blissfully unaware mind space again. But when we first started trying, I thought it was gonna happen on the first try. Definitely within the first 3 months, but month would go by and month would go by and nothing. There were so many times where I convinced myself that I was pregnant because I so desperately wanted to be. I always knew that I wanted to be a mom. And when your body just cannot perform something so primal, something so biological, like having a baby, it can really put you in some dark places and beat you down as a person. It's stressful, it's hard on your relationship, and quite frankly, you know, it just takes the fun out of trying. Before we moved, I did go see a doctor. I just wanted to see like if there was anything that was preventing it from happening, like why is it not happening for me? I hear about it happening for other women, you know, on their first try or their fourth try, or, you know, it's different for everybody. But I wanted to see, like, is there anything wrong with my body that's preventing this from happening? So I went to a doctor. They ran some, like, basic tests. It wasn't, like, anything super extensive because this was, like, during a period of COVID. So everything was, like, telehealth at the time, and there wasn't, like, any sort of extensive tests going on. And this was just like my regular gynecology office. They said that everything came back normal, so all of my tests that they did were fine. They couldn't figure out, you know, anything specifically wrong. They said it probably should have happened by now, but we don't know why it's not happening. So They said that I should do several months of medicated cycles, which is exactly what we did. We did 4 or 5 months, I think, of letrozole, which is a medication that just basically helps you ovulate. And we tried that, but still nothing. Once the end of that trial period came and went, we were already moving, so we decided that we were just gonna finish out the year and keep trying naturally, because we were in between insurances, everything. We're just like, all right, when we get settled into our new home and our new lives, then we will go see a fertility clinic and a fertility doctor and just do the whole checkup, workup thing. When we went to the new fertility clinic, we definitely did a lot more tests this time, more extensive tests, but they all pretty much came back normal again. And our official diagnosis is unexplained infertility, which basically means, hey, we can't find anything wrong with either of you, just for some reason it's not happening. And in my mind, I personally feel like it's the worst diagnosis. It's not the worst diagnosis, but it feels that way to me, because if there isn't something specifically wrong, then there isn't a specific action that I can take to fix it. I don't know. Does that make sense? That's just how my mind thinks of it. Now, my fertility clinic, actually, they start off by running a bunch of like blood work and tests, but they also do what's called a hysteroscopy, which they basically just like take a camera, and you're asleep for it, thank goodness, but they take a camera and they go up into your uterus and they like check to see if there's anything in there like fibroids or polyps or just anything that looks abnormal that would actually be preventing you from getting pregnant. They can also check to see if your fallopian tubes are blocked. Mine, thankfully, were not blocked, but of course there was something abnormal. I guess I had, not anymore, because thankfully we were able to fix it, but I had what was called a septate uterus, and that's basically just like, it's a birth defect, I guess, that you're born with, and it's a membrane that like grows down the center of your uterus, kind of like separating it in two. It's hard to explain. I'll put like a diagram right here or something so you can see better what I'm trying to explain. But yeah, that was my finding when we did that procedure. Now, I'm gonna put a trigger warning right here. If this is triggering for you, just jump to this part of the video so that you don't have to hear about it. Now, I say this was a blessing in disguise because apparently when you have a septate uterus, you have a pretty high chance of having recurrent miscarriages. So if I did get pregnant, or I was getting pregnant naturally, I would have had a pretty good chance of having a miscarriage. And it's really unfortunate, but a lot of women don't find out that they do have it until they've had these recurrent miscarriages. So like I said, this was a blessing in disguise, because without this procedure, I wouldn't have been able to change this and try to prevent that from happening. Another thing that I learned is my AMH levels, which is basically just a number that tells you where your egg reserve is at, is actually pretty low for my age. I think she said mine was a 1.9 or 1.8, I can't remember. It was one of those two, but she said that for my age, it should be around a 4. So this number isn't super low. It's still within an okay normal range to get pregnant. It just means that my biological clock is ticking a lot faster than I thought it was. Overall, after all of our tests and everything that we've been through so far, my husband and I talked and we decided that we want to go ahead and move forward with IVF. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. We talked with our doctor and amongst ourselves and just decided that IVF is going to be our best chance at starting a family. So we're gonna go ahead and move forward with it. We've been preparing for this for actually a while now. I have all of my medications and I should be starting the stimulants for egg retrieval really soon, like within the next week or so. So I'm going to go ahead and document my journey and bring you all along. I hope that you guys join me and just provide some much needed support through this process. But like I said, you know, seeing other people's journeys has helped, and that's just kind of what I want to do too. I know this isn't really what you guys subscribed for when you first subscribed to my channel. I'm going to keep doing, you know, makeup tutorials and beauty reviews and stuff like that, but I'm also just going to be doing some extra content to accommodate my new life. Oh, and before I forget, I know it's been a really long time since I've done one, but I'm going to be doing a back to school and beauty giveaway here on my YouTube channel. I have tons of great stuff for you guys. Actually, you know what? I think I'm just going to film that right now so that I can get that up as soon as possible. Hopefully, I'll have that up within a week from actually putting this video up. So stay tuned if you guys want to go ahead and join that. If you haven't already, please press the subscribe button. I would absolutely love to have you as part of my YouTube family. Whether you love makeup or skincare or anything beauty, motherhood or journey to motherhood, infertility, anything, I would just absolutely love it if you press the subscribe button, because I really would love to have you. Also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And if you guys have any questions about my infertility journey or just anything in general, go ahead, leave a comment down below. Or if you want to, you can go ahead and just private message me on Instagram if you want something a little more personal. But yeah, I didn't really go into huge detail about everything that I've been through today. That's gonna be a very long video. I will share more things in the future, but I hope that you guys tag along with me in this journey, because I'm really gonna need some support. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.